Breaking news. Welcome to today's headlines. Masob orders LP factional presidential candidate Ezenwafo to withdraw or face Igbo youth Wrøth. Masob orders LP factional presidential candidate Ezenwafo to withdraw or face Igbo youth Wrøth. To my dear listeners from wherever you're listening from, please stay tuned as I read today's news. The movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra, Masob, on Thursday ordered the factional presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Jude Ezenwafo, to withdraw or face the wrath of Igbo youth. The group condemned in totality the moves by alleged enemies of Igbo to sponsor a faction in the LP where the former governor of Anambra State, Mr. Peter Obi, had emerged as the presidential candidate. The national leadership of Masob, in a statement signed by the Director of Information, Comrade Edson Samuel, and made available to journalists in Abakaliki, capital of Ebonyi State, vowed to deal with political troublemakers in Igbo land. According to Masob, we describe Mr. Jude Ezenwafo as a huge disappointment and betrayal of future interest of Nigerian youth. He was paid and allowed himself to be used by Asuro cabals to create the artificial impression that Mr. Obi's Labour Party is fractionalized. We advise Mr. Ezenwafo to withdraw from this shameful and sacrilegious act and the mission he embarked on. We know that APC and PDP are afraid of Mr. Obi and his Labour mantra. He has won the hearts of the populace. That is why they want to use Ezenwafo as a bot tool to frustrate Mr. Obi. Masob, however, expressed confidence that Obi will definitely win the forthcoming 2023 presidential election in Nigeria. These Ezenwafo must learn from his paymasters on stepping down, for their kinsman whom they entrust their political interest. The governor of Sokoto State, Alhaji Tambuwal, stepped down for his brother Atiku Abubakar for him to win the PDP presidential ticket. The Yoruba aspirant in APC presidential election stepped down for their brother Bola Tinubu for him to clinch the APC presidential ticket, the group said. The group, however, tasked Mr. Ezenwafo to step down for Obi to avert being treated as a saboteur and betrayal of the Igbo nation. The movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra, Masob, on Thursday ordered the factional presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Jude Ezenwafo, to withdraw or face the wrath of Igbo youth. The group condemned in totality the moves by alleged enemies of Igbo to sponsor a faction in the LP, where the former governor of Anambra State, Mr. Peter Obi, had emerged as the presidential candidate. The national leadership of Masob, in a statement signed by the Director of Information, Comrade Edson Samuel, and made available to journalists in Abakaliki, capital of Ebonyi State, vowed to deal with political troublemakers in Igbo land. According to Masov, we describe Mr. Jude Ezewafo as a huge disappointment and betrayal of future interest of Nigerian youth. He was paid and allowed himself to be used by Asura cabals to create the artificial impression that Mr. Obi's Labour Party is factionalized. We advise Mr. Ezewafo to withdraw from this shameful and sacrilegious act and the mission he embarked on. We know that APC and PDP are afraid of Mr. Peter Obi and his Labour mantra. He has won the heart of the populace. That is why they want to use Ezewafo as a bot tool to frustrate Mr. Peter Obi. Masov, however, expressed confidence that Obi will definitely win the forthcoming 2023 presidential election in Nigeria. This Ezewafo must learn from his space masters on stepping down for their kinsmen, whom they'll entrust their political interest. The governor of Sokoto, Alhaji Tambuwal, stepped down for his brother Atiku Abubakar for him to win the PDP presidential ticket. The Yoruba aspirant in APC presidential election stepped down for their brother Bola Ahmed Tinubu for him to clinch the APC presidential ticket, the group said. The group, however, tasked Mr. Ezewafo to step down for Obi to have been treated as a saboteur and betrayal of the Igbo nation. To my dear listeners, now we've come to the end of our today's news. Please do drop by at the comment section and let us know what your view is all about. Thank you for listening.